This is a rarity, folks. Let me explain just how rare it is. But first, welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. So, Angel Studios, The Sound of Freedom, the movie that wanted, or that everybody in Hollywood and on the news and at Disney, none of them wanted this movie to be released because it exposes sex trafficking and child trafficking rings. And, well, here's the thing. There's only one reason why you guys wouldn't want that exposed. Probably because you support that behavior or you're part of it. So, yeah, Angel Studios, Sound of Freedom sees box office gross increase in its second weekend. Now, folks, the box office is mainly measured by the drop-off, the second week drop-off, where you usually measure by the percentage of what they make in the second week compared to the first week. Well, this movie did what movies wish they could and actually had not a drop-off, but a climb. This movie actually has an ascension in profit in the second week. And that is a great thing. That shows that people are going to watch a movie that has a positive message, that is about great things like saving kids from very horrible situations. I wish I could go see this movie. I can't. The closest theater that's showing it is over 150 miles away. So yeah, I don't got the money for gas. We're kind of in $4 gas zones here. But anyway, let's get into this. This is from Bounding Into Comics. Shout out to John F. Trenton, Bounding Into Comics, and the writers over there. Great people. So, Angel Studios' Sound of Freedom film did something one hardly sees at the box office anymore. It saw its second week grosses increase over its premiere weekend. Yeah, I remember that photo. I used it for a nice little updated kind of thumbnail. So, in a press release, the distributor announced that Jim Caviezel's Driven film grossed $27 million in its second weekend, at an increase of 37% from the opening weekend of $19.6 million. You know, when this movie destroyed Harrison Ford's swan song for Indiana Jones during the 4th of July. Yeah. Angel Studios head of theatrical distribution, Brandon Purdy, pointed out the historical significance of a film's second weekend increase. There have only been 10 wide-release movies in box office history that have had a second weekend increase greater than 35% over their opening weekend. All of them did it at Christmas. Angel Studios is the only studio to do this in the summer blockbuster season with Sound of Freedom. The company's SVP of Global Distribution, Jared Giese, or I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly, Giese, boasted about the film's success while also taking a shot at the company's competitors. While the entire summer movie box office lineup is underperforming, our small independent film continues to grow week over week. Driven by millions of fans and supporters, Sound of Freedom has become a national and soon international movement for change. Now, folks, yes, you may find this hypocritical where I say that this movie has a positive message and that movies with agendas often are movies that shouldn't be watched. Well, this movie does have an agenda. However, it's openly admitting its agenda is to be a cause for positive change throughout the world. Where all this other stuff that Disney is doing are trying to do this subtly and also promote racial division and such. This movie is trying to stop child sex trafficking and child trafficking the world over by exposing some very influential people and whatnot. This movie's second weekend grosses of $27 million brings the film's total domestic gross to $85.4 million. The film has now grossed more at the box office than major studio superhero films such as Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which only took in $57.6 million at the domestic box office. Wow. A DC film, superhero film, lost to this film. It's quite likely that the film could best The Flash by its third weekend. The Flash has only grossed $106.8 million domestically and only brought in an abysmal $720,000 in its fifth weekend at the box office. $720,000. Ouch. Didn't even gross $1 million. While it has seen its theaters counts drop to less than 800. Other films it will likely best include Paramount Pictures' Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which sucked, Megan, which was better than I thought it would be, and Scream 6, which I didn't see because, well, I got put off by the fifth one, calling me a psycho killer and all that. Dungeons & Dragons only grossed $93.2 million domestically. Megan brought in $95 million, and Scream grossed $108.1 million. In fact, in their press release, Angel Studios expects the film to gross the $100 million mark sometime this week before its third weekend in theaters. The film could even beat out the Walt Disney Company's Elemental as well as Universal's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish grossed $124.3 million, while Elemental has currently grossed $125.2. Elemental's fifth weekend at the box office has brought in $8.7 million. Depending on how well the film does moving forward, it is possible it could break into the top 10 grossing films domestically for the entire year. I'm hoping it does. In order to do that, it would have to surpass Fast X and Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. Fast X grossed $45.9 million domestically, while Dial of Destiny currently is sitting at $145.3, following its third weekend. Given Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is still in theaters, it will surpass Fast X and will likely also pass Rise of the Beasts, the Transformers movie, which has grossed $152.7 million. Sound of Freedom follows the story of former government agent Tim Ballard, who quit his job to rescue a little girl from sex traffickers in the Colombian jungle. In the process, Tim ended up saving 123 people, 55 of which were children, from one mission alone. This is based on the true story, by the way. Tim Ballard I have seen on Tim Pool's podcast. The film has received an A+ Cinema Score rating and currently has an 8.2 on IMDb. What do you make of the Sound of Freedom's box office success? I think that this movie is one of the most important movies of our time. And the fact that it is seeing an increase, now I'm hoping that momentum can continue. It certainly needs to have that momentum to continue in order to have another increase in the box office, because I don't know for a fact, but I'm willing to bet that you don't see a consistent box office increase in movies pretty much ever. If this movie has another increase in the box office week to week, that is pretty much world record setting. And I would absolutely love if Sound of Freedom did that. I truly do wish I could go see this movie. I unfortunately do not have the means or resources to do so. I have the money, sure, to pay for the ticket. However, I do not have the ability to see it. And I will not sail the 7 seas to see this movie. I would prefer to support it financially with my own money at a theater. So, yeah, folks, that's going to be the video. You all know the drill. Have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of this momentous increase at the box office in the second weekend? A climb instead of a drop-off. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks.
This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Have a wonderful day, and always remember, stay humble.